IVM.
कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen yaar, don't be so conservative. Cock and bull. In the middle of a war that's going on in my life, have to stop here and do the cock and bull because our listeners, the millions of them, say no cock and bull, no breath in their bodies, no life to live. Very quickly, the building opposite me, which I won't name, Manarok, has got a blue tarpaulin over it, which you see from the planes when you're coming in on the slums and all, that same blue. That blue is Mumbai now. We have to accept it. And initially I thought it was really ugly because they're doing construction work and they wanted to, because of COVID, keep everything inside the tarpaulin so only they die. But now I'm really enjoying it because you don't see the neighbors at all. It's like you've just blocked out one whole society. They're just gone. You know, I'm looking from my terrace early morning. It's like there's not a single person to look at, just this blue mess, which now is slowly becoming aesthetically pleasing for me. I just want to say, if you see a building covered, don't uncover it. This is good for Mumbai.
पेश खिदमत है आपकी शान में हमारे अंजुमन से. हाय, आई एम सदफ
एंड आई एम अर्शित. खाने का इतिहास, इकोनॉमिक्स, पॉलिसी, साइकोलॉजी सब है मेन्यू पे.
ओनली ऑन द नानकाली पॉडकास्ट एवरी वेडनेसडे, सिर्फ IVM पॉडकास्ट ऐप या वेबसाइट पर, या फिर जहां से भी आप अपने पॉडकास्ट सुनते हो.
It's called Cock and Bull, and we've got Abijit Ganguly making his debut in an evening recording. Generally, I force these guys to record early morning, and now we've got him at his absolute best. He's already done pull-ups on a moving fan while waiting for Amit to join us, and he's got a lovely message behind him, which I don't know if you can see or not see over this audio or video format, but can you tell us the message again?
So the message is, it's a glass painting made by the wife, and it's imagination is the only weapon in the war against reality.
Imagination is the only weapon against the war, in the war against reality. Against reality. Yeah. And then we discussed offline that should be Arnab Goswami saying the war against reality.
Yeah. Or Donald Trump. Or Rudy Guiliania.
Yes. How sad about Rudy Guiliania. We'll come to that in a second, Amit. I was a fan for a time. And then we've got Amit Doshi, proprietor, and young Silverie, who's now ready to spread his wings. Sorry for another day. But let's get into it. Rudy Guiliania, the hero.
Before Rudy Guiliania, what war are you in the middle of?
Oh, I'm in the middle of this shooting war. I'm shooting something on the side, and so I have to go to the suburbs every day and things like that. And then suddenly, yesterday, they kept me on standby, which is when they're shooting other scenes. So you go into a standby mode means you may or may not come. So that is like worse than asking a girl out and her not getting the answer correctly. You know, you're not sure what she said. It's like that. So you're sitting at home dying to leave, but you can't leave, or dying to relax, but you can't relax. And so it's been very painful.
What would you, in such a situation, what would you want? Would you want a may or may not?
I would want a may not. I'm always happier with a negative answer. I'm more used to that and I feel more comfortable. Yeah. In fact, after so many girls reject you, you don't know how to deal with a girl who says yes. It's very embarrassing.
How do they keep you on standby when you live on this side of town where your shoot is probably where Goregaon?
So we explained that to them. They said we'll give it 2 hours notice. So now more than that, now it's not like we're in Lonavala, so it's fair enough.
I guess that's true.
And yeah, but it's terrible. It's a terrible feeling. But so there've been good moments, and there've been I'm learning more about.
We should have done 3 podcasts yesterday while you were on standby.
Oh God, no! I was just calling Pooja, my manager, all the time and asking her, "Can I leave?" They've never seen a more enthusiastic actor who never knows his lines, but is always on time. So far, I've only set the standard for on time, including Mud Island. Listen, let's talk about Giuliani.
Yes, what about, he is the best, isn't he?
But right now, Donald Trump has just sacked one lawyer and brought some new guy in, and
so
he's doing his usual thing.
The one who showed that she's totally batshit insane. He kept the one who only showed himself as somewhat batshit insane. Right. So the press conference the other day, there were 3 lawyers there, right? So the one who was talking about the conspiracy between the dead for 7 years Hugo Chavez, the Chinese Communist Party, which has been dead since 1979, and the which was the third communist country?
Cuba. North Korea.
Cuba?
North Korea.
No, I don't think was it North Korea. I thought it was Cuba. I think it might have been Cuba.
Cuba, yeah. That's it. Those
were the 3 countries, right? Cuba.
I would have said West Bengal in the old days. Abijit would get upset with me.
Yeah,
but
I was about to.
So they let her go.
But it's just amazing how he's still not giving up. I mean, we're doing this on, what is the date? November 23rd.
23rd.
So I don't know what it'll be when you listen to this.
Isn't that a thing that everybody all your life keeps saying, never give up, never give up?
Yeah,
so
true.
He's sticking to his thing. I
think he should be the
Can
Nike.
we all place a bet? Can we all place a bet as to when we think he'll actually concede? Or not? You don't think he's going to concede at all?
20th. 21st, yeah.
January 22nd, 2021.
Yeah, 22nd, 2 days after. Yeah.
When the bouncers take him out of the White House, finally.
My bet is not when. My bet is if. So I have let's see, what if the when doesn't come into it?
It'll be very nice if he builds a little White House for himself, just opposite, and says, no, I'll be here now. I am the president. You can do what you want. And you have your own Senate and, Yeah.
Renames all Trump towers as White Houses. Like there's a White House in Goregaon as well now.
Amazing. I mean, Chris Christie, who was basically, kissing his ass for the longest time, right? Even he's like, the legal team is a national disgrace. How can they do shit like this? It's amazing. What they're doing is just, it blows my mind.
Also, if they're true patriots or nationalists or whatever, that horrible word, which I'm not fond of, don't they also think of the American sense that America is looking stupid in the eyes of the world? Or
Absolutely.
After 4 years of Donald Trump, you're immune to that?
But America caring about that is just long.
Yeah, I guess after 4 years of having to apologize wherever you go, making jokes on Trump. I remember back in the U.S. Embassy also, I've heard people make jokes about the president in a sense of, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We both know what's wrong with him, sort of thing.
Do you know who this guy Jonah Goldberg is? He's a very well-known conservative writer. Right, he writes from a conservative point of view. He's an anti-Trump guy, but a very well-known intellectual conservative, right? So Tucker Carlson, who is the opposite of an intellectual conservative, who is like basically the most, he's Arnab.
Yeah.
He's Arnab.
He's not Arnab. Nobody's Arnab.
He's as close to Arnab as you can get to.
Yeah.
So Tucker Carlson, basically, this lawyer who got fired, right? He went off on her on Friday. Saying that basically we've asked her to give us proof. We have asked her repeatedly, can you give us something? Can you give us something? In the course of that statement that he made, right, he called it the biggest, if the Democrats have pulled this off, it's the biggest crime ever committed in American history, period, right? It is, right? Because if you switch millions of votes in a single day and steal an election, what bigger crime than that could there be?
Milli Vanilli. Ice Ice Baby. The biggest crime in the history of American music.
I think that was a crime simply because of the quality of the song.
They copied the song.
They didn't copy the song.
I'm sorry, they lip-sang the song. They copied the song.
But I think the song was bad enough.
It's Queen's Under Pressure, which they took as their opening theme. Then they lip-sync the whole song. Let's not digress. We always digress. People writing and tell us, Cyrus, stop digressing. In the middle of an important point. He says the biggest crime.
Biggest crime ever committed, right? So Jonah Goldberg, when he was writing his column this Sunday, he's like, if that was the biggest crime ever committed, right, where the Democrats stole, is what the Trump administration doing right now not also the biggest crime ever committed, or at least the biggest crime ever attempted? They're trying to steal the election, which they've lost by 10 million votes, and they've lost by 100 plus electoral college votes.
I think they're going the wrong path with crime and pop and that kind of sin and all that. I think it's more to do with obnoxious arrogance, which is a disease of a different kind altogether. Let's bring Mr. Ganguly in for a second. Mr. Ganguly, what do you think? I think let's not get into the legalities and right and wrong. It's just more about just being ridiculously obnoxious.
But what you're saying, I absolutely agree with that, because this whole pop, like this, what is right, what is crime, what is not, it feels very distant and very righteous conversation.
Correct.
Obnoxious, that behavior is relatable. So that we all know have people in lives we can relate to, and even also, that we are building secretariat, everything, there are situations like this.
So I'm saying even if one leaves aside the philosophy of who's right or wrong and looks at just the behavior, the treatment is the problem. The attitude, the arrogance of I'll go to Georgia twice. I'll do three. You can't recount it every weekend. I mean, this is supposed to be the most powerful country in the world. Bihar is sounding better. The elections went beautifully without a blemish. They've got a government in power. It's over. I mean, Bihar is here and USA has fallen.
So people
even when the counting was going on, it was just so tiresome for the counting to go on and on.
Yeah.
Itne der mein to, Amit Shah would have bought 15 different MLAs from had them lifted from some resort and done so many different things. Had a governor, imprisoned half of them.
Correct.
So much more would have happened.
Modern politics has escaped the American voter and the American people.
What I really like is that the people who pull electronic voting machine conspiracies in India, at least, they are given their proper due, that they're full of shit and they should be sitting down.
But liberals were really in a very bad place because the moment the Trump thing was happening, they were making fun of all these vote fraud accusations. And then a day later, when BJP won in Bihar, they're like, "This is EVM fraud." This was so
Abhijit,
funny.
I will now I will explain this entire thing to you guys. All right, it's all about different conditions, like in cricket or tennis. The conditions matter. So the conditions are different in India and different in America. The machines may work in one country on those conditions and not another country in these conditions. Please understand. It's not an exact science here.
What team you are on matters. Basically, you have to pick the team.
But we've discussed this before, the irony of how today's liberal is tomorrow's conservative or right-winger, left-winger over a period of time. Because
There's no stand we can take. There's no stand that we are voting is right for.
Let's hang him on the fact that he's so arrogant and obnoxious, and that's just irritating to watch. And it's just a bad human being in terms of how he presents himself more than what he is, which is always, somewhat argumentable, if that's the right word in English. But
there are some very weird videos. Have you guys seen those very weird videos of I don't know if I should say this here, but Joe Biden touching that girl's little creepy.
Yeah. Like sniffing the hair and all.
Really getting them too close to himself, and it's like very cringy and creepy to watch. And you yourself are thinking, is this just an old man who's just close to oh little girl come here, or is it just creepy behavior? What is it?
This is how I look at it, right? This is a guy who's been on television as much as, or has been recorded as much as any other human being in the world, right? I mean, he's been in the U.S. Senate since the 70s,
and vice president for
8 years.
Right there, the synergy of all the media.
During when George Bush was president, he was head of the Judiciary Committee. Again, just a hugely powerful senator, very popular man. When he goes to he's always the chief guest. Right? Now, when you've done thousands and thousands and thousands of this, and there's video of each and every one of them, you're going to find some stuff which just looks weird.
No, but this is just
hello. Abhijit, they've slightly doctored those videos, in a sense. You cut it right at the point where the child is right next to him and all that. If you give it context of a child walking in from 10 feet away, it doesn't hit you so badly when a hug happens and all that. But if you kind of show it immediately, I'm just saying, to play devil's advocate, because I just don't want the presidency to go back again over these little things that as a typical Indian, you're just not happy. You have to put little kira somewhere and cause the descent again to start.
So that was the weird part when I saw this video, and I was like, holy crap, I've been saying so much about Trump is this. This is the guy who they finally got. And that's just a videotaping of one event.
Abhijit, if we find out that after Trump, Joe Biden turns out to be a pedophile or something like that, we end humanity. Because that's it. I've had enough now. That's it.
That's what QAnon has been saying. That's what they've been saying for the longest time. All Democrats they run a pedophilia ring.
Oh my God! Come on, Amit. You and your philosophy about no conspiracy theory, it doesn't exist.
I don't think it exists. I think QAnon people are morons.
Yeah, while you're on the topic of extreme closeness to kids, like Kangana Ranaut also put out a picture of her kissing her niece. Nephew. And she had put out a tweet on how my nephew doesn't ever want me to go anywhere and he's so cute. And she was kissing him. I mean, it's very weird to make it sound like that, but on the lips. And everybody's been like,
are you George Bernard Shaw, Mr. Ganguly? Are you 100% sure? On the lips?
Yeah, you can see the picture right now. I can send it to you on Google and just read. And that's the best part. No, Kangana Ranaut is so high on overconfidence.
Can you show us this picture? I don't know. I can't believe it.
See if I can find it.
I can't believe it. No.
She's herself tweeted it out. She's herself tweeted it.
गिराया Joe Biden को गिराया वो तो ठीक है. अभी the Kangana, the shining star. No. Be very careful.
And I was just thinking, bro, of course the nephew likes her. Ganguly red card. Give me a minute. Ganguly red card. Out. That's all I have. Out. We let you go with a pedophile for a foreigner, but we have to stop it here. You're out.
No, this is on the lips.
Okay, can we
upload it? Yeah, hold on.
I'll just let you share.
Allow me to share.
See this.
Yeah, you'll have to...
Oh my God, so there's more than one. That's not the picture I have.
Oh my God. No, it can't be. It could be optical illusion. She might be kissing the chin or something and it looks like that.
By the way, this is not media expose. This is Kangana Ranaut's her own tweet. Like, imagine the amount of confidence that you have to be to put your own picture of you harassing a minor.
See, this is the one that I have. This is a different picture altogether.
It doesn't look that bad here. This one, the one that Amit has. Amit one, it looks like a sweet, it's just...
Yeah, but it's a different picture than the one that Abijit is showing us, right?
Yeah, Abijit has done some doctoring in his lab where he destroys reputations.
I don't need to. This is her own tweet. This is her Kangana's own tweet. This is her tweet.
Little bit.
Oh, let me just see if I can increase brightness of increase on like just make me share.
This has been our worst podcast ever. We've spent 15 minutes trying to decode a kiss. With very hard, poor visuals.
Give me share screen. Give me share screen.
Yeah, you can share.
Because Amit's stuff looks very auntie-like and motherly and all that. The ones that he showed us.
I'm not saying that, hey, Kangana is bad, but the picture itself is that. So now what do I do? Like if she herself is...
If you want to make those accusations, make sure you're in Mumbai. You're safe only here.
You're not wrong. Huh? This picture is not... this picture is shady as fuck. I'm sorry. It just is.
Oops. But we are not able to see it. He's doing it. Okay, great. Wow. Dear listener, we interrupt this program for...
Oh, there's video also? Okay. No,
oh my God.
That was just something that come up.
Oh.
So this is the picture.
Hey, what?
This is her own tweet. This is her own tweet.
That's...
When we left for the shoot, he said don't go. Of course he would say don't go.
Okay, stop it. I still want to give benefit of doubt. Okay, just stop it.
Like, come on. Nephew.
Leave the children alone.
Not be saying don't go.
Stop it.
Oh man.
They're going to censor us soon.
What is this funny feeling that's happening to me?
Oh, this is so awkward, man. You can't even talk about it or defend it. What do we do?
It's just weird, man.
Let's. Yeah,
and this is not even the weirdest thing. This is not even the weirdest thing she did on Twitter this week, is it?
Well, what is?
But this for me tops it.
I am hot.
The weird thing was she kissed her boyfriend. That's weird.
No,
but on the cheek. On the cheek.
No, so I was talking about a different thing altogether. I was talking about she got into that fight with somebody on Twitter, no? She called some girl ugly and suicidal and stuff like that.
Ouch.
And then after that, when that girl basically replied to her saying, go fuck yourself, she responded saying that I don't have to, I am hot and sexy.
That's a good reply though. Oscar Wilde in a slightly, lower intellectual way. But I don't mind it.
Okay.
And then her nephew replied to that tweet, yes, I agree.
Okay, you two are both suspended now. I told you we can't make fun of this kind of thing. I've warned you all. I don't have a red card, so I'm going to use the purse. Okay? Silverie out. Abijit out. You're suspended. This is ridiculous, guys. Come on, man.
We didn't say anything.
We'll be right behind. Thank you.
Of course he is.
Do you understand? With the court's agenda, we'll be right behind Kunal Kamra now, in line for prosecution. Be very careful.
We are in Bombay, guys. It's okay. Bombay. Yeah, but if you're traveling to any place else, be careful. For now, we are fine.
We have to check when the elections are. State elections, wherever you go.
Make statements according to where you are going.
Exactly. But that's the new India. It's fair enough. And as a comedian, it keeps you flexible, doesn't it? You got to change your jokes depending on where you go, who the market is. I mean, in a sense, we're the biggest prostitutes now. A successful comedian will be the best prostitute of all for now.
Keeps the comedy muscle strong, Always be aware of every political party's misdoings.
That's why Kamra's mistake is taking a stand. Never take a stand. Take a standish. Stands are very dangerous. Standish, much better. Right? We all concur, except Silverie.
So what is the consensus about touching or kissing kids? What is the consensus? Is it?
I'll just say this much. I have nephews and nieces. I think you all have some relatives, etc.
Yeah.
I have traditionally kissed little children on their forehead and things like that. I don't like kissing, frankly, but I would not be comfortable either being the nephew or the aunt in this case.
What are you saying? If we are the nephew, I mean, we don't know it's this like this.
My wife is sitting behind me, Mr. Ganguly. Do you have your
lawyer
ready?
Remember, like all of us as kids being fond of the English teacher or something like that.
That's
just
different.
Imagine.
That's
just imagine if you're fond of the English teacher and she kisses you on the lips. It's amazing.
Yeah, but that's his blood aunt, right? I'm just saying.
I'm not by the way, let me just go clear. I'm not justifying any kind of behavior. I'm just saying.
I was trying to get away from this entire story, thinking that all will get us into trouble. Or even if we laugh, we're in trouble. Even if we endorse it or against it, it's just, Correct. So I was thinking, let's leave it alone and go into full-blown porn, which is safer. If we can find it on the net.
Yeah. But it's brilliant. She's herself tweeting it. She's herself tweeting it.
No, listen. So but having said that, there are cultures which are different from other cultures. And many cultures, you do kiss on the mouth.
I don't think
men kiss on the mouth in certain cultures, which is hard.
I don't think she's from that side of Greece. I think she's...
Well, as a lawyer, I have to tell you she's traveled there and picked up the culture. So, whatever floats your boat. The only one who can answer this question, last thing, is that kid. So, as our next guest...
Can you rate that kiss from 1 to 10?
His questions will be very few. Beta, what is the color of the sky?
What's common between the kid and Aditya Pancholi?
She ran away from both. Because that's what the tweet said. I'm going, and he didn't want me to go. Yeah. Good.
It is some auspicious company, Aditya Pancholi. Who's that other guy? Shekhar Suman's son.
Adyut Suman. Yeah. I must say, you know your Bollywood, boss. For an intelligent young man, well-read young man with nice things in the background and all that, you know all rubbish, absolute rubbish about Bollywood, which no one should ever know. How do you remove that? How do you delete that from your mind? Oh God, I can't delete that. You really destroyed my head.
Sorry. We want to move on to a different topic.
We have nothing better than this. We should just leave.
Nothing can top it. Nothing can top this.
How will we top this? Let's go to the dead body. The dead body.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just before that, if we can, because we already talked about the Trump thing, Vladimir Putin came out with a statement saying that I'm not ready to recognize Joe Biden as the winner of the US presidential election because his victory has not been acknowledged by Donald Trump. That's Putin's personal message about
That's fine. Honestly,
again, not surprising.
So does every presidency need to be approved by Donald Trump?
But I heard
this one.
Every presidency has to be approved by Vladimir Putin, however.
One second. Okay. There's a big rumor that he's got Alzheimer's, no? Putin,
really?
Yeah. I haven't heard Alzheimer's. He won't even remember who Trump is or Biden. How does it matter?
Doesn't he go for bear hunting or something like that? He went for bear hunting some days back. I mean, if he's doing that with Alzheimer's, then...
Well, ironically, I was told that his wife divorced him because she said he was very introverted. So, he's a real paradox, this man.
But wait.
Rides the horse.
Putin's wife divorced him?
Yeah.
And she's alive?
Yeah. She's just in a camp, holiday camp somewhere in Siberia.
I did not expect this.
Yeah. She was never seen again, you're right. No one knows. Fair enough. Oops. Yeah. What are we saying? There's nothing nice today.
No, today's cynicism.
I always keep getting confused between Putin and Nasir Hussain. I think they're just the same person. Basically,
yeah, they do look alike. They do look alike.
English
One of the nicest people you'll ever meet, Nasir Hussain, of course. But other than that, But I remember...
What if Putin's wife married him after that?
Huh? Sorry?
What if Putin's wife married Nasir Hussain after that? It's the
same. Ouch. And you have a kiss?
Also,
you have a kiss corroborating all this? Huh?
His wife can never remarry though, right? Like... Dude, that guy is not safe.
No. The wife can remarry, but who will remarry her? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That guy will never be safe, man.
No way, yeah. Oops. Yeah. God, today's been all personal stuff, huh? Between the Kangana case and now Putin and his wife, you guys are unbelievable. Biden is I won't say the word, but their pictures with kids. So Donald Trump is coming out looking beautiful today. He's just obnoxious. He's an arrogant fuck. What's wrong with that? Look at these other guys. Oh my God.
He's a pure-hearted soul. Like, he just grabs adult pussies.
We have become the lawyers for Donald Trump. We have endorsed him beautifully because we showed in the theory of relativity. Itna to bad to nahi hai. It's good.
Yeah.
All good.
This is the problem with whataboutism. This is basically what we did. What about Putin?
How do people leak pictures of themselves without thinking it through? 50% of the battle is that.
So I think that is a big problem. Just generally, people, I don't understand. How do private pictures get public in some ways, right? Sometimes I'm just amazed by that.
Just imagine how scared we guys are. Like, I had a shirt which said Om written over a couple of times. And I was about to one day post a picture. And then I did because I'm like, yeah, this can get me into trouble. And here's Kangana Ranaut kissing a minor and happily putting the picture of herself without thinking. Like, how are we
you went and stitched H and O to the home so that, it became a joke and all that.
Yeah.
So I saw an interesting or a funny tweet, I guess, right? Who would have thought that we'd missed the day when Kangana's sister was tweeting from her account instead of her?
Yeah.
I mean, because she was nuts too, right? But this is like next level insanity.
No, but everybody is saying that she was the same. Basically, it was Kangana only. Because all along, Rangoli's tweets were all Kangana.
Yeah.
And right now, it just seemed like, because it has the same level of craziness too.
It's also possible that she posted it because she knew it would get controversial. That tweet would be controversial.
I think you cannot give such Machiavellian intelligence to some people.
No, I think what we should do is get the NCB, Narcotics Bureau, to get involved again because they're the best when it comes to Bollywood. They've got Bharti Singh, India's greatest criminal, under the net now.
What was it? It was something ridiculous. No? Yeah, it was something ridiculous, like 9 grams.
83 grams of ganja.
Okay, all right. So they're wholesale dealers. Come on, Abijit.
Rahul, somebody in Twitter posted a brilliant tweet. For 83 grams, Bharti has been arrested. Itna to, like, engineering students अपने grinder में भूल जाते हैं.
I mean, really.
83 grams. Holy crap. Oh, God.
If you're a Bollywood actor or artist or whatever, I mean, and you're caught with anything, just a small bit, I mean, it's going to be front page news. It's the best way to revive your career is quickly get yourself a little ganja and keep it at home and then call the NCB.
Oh, please don't say this. Please don't say this out loud, Cyrus. Rakhi Samant and all will start doing it, actually.
There's a landslide. 18 people died. In Ethiopia, there's a clashes where 14 people died. It doesn't even make the news. And Bharati makes the news for what one joint? I mean, half a joint? What is it?
It's a little more than that, but I mean, like, it's still not enough to justify anything.
Have you seen Bharati? The joint depends on the size of the person.
I understand that, but no, I actually just went online right now to search what 100 grams of marijuana.
I love a good old fat shaming joke.
God, it's not nothing.
Also, some of our comedy shows are so bad that you need that just to see it. So, I think it should be a disclaimer with the show.
Point. That's
no, but somebody said that also, of course,
no,
if you have to tolerate Archana Puran Singh and Navjot Singh Sidhu, you need some narcotics in your life.
No, we've got Arjun Rampal on our sets, Baba. 2 or 3 days have gone because of this ridiculous whatever questioning and all that. I'm just saying, okay, let the punishment fit the crime, no? They're making so much out of all this. It should fit. The High Court judge pointed out in the Bharati judgment very quickly that this is consumption, not possession. So bail is acceptable. And just read the matter.
Here is my this is my weird ass conspiracy theory.
Oh,
right?
My God!
Hey, it's my conspiracy theory.
Is it involve kissing?
No, it's actually the opposite. So this is what I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking that basically cops are sick of arresting people for weed. So now they're going around arresting big stars for small amounts of weed.
So they get selfie.
No, so it gets to the point where it's like, dude, are we kidding with this kind of shit? Get rid of this law. I really think that, I mean, like,
Talk about your thinking, or you call it somewhat Machiavellian thinking, your intellectual layered thinking is beyond, I don't know, Stephen.
I know.
Actually, you are thinking as if India is a very developed country.
Only a Bengali will accept this thinking.
Listen,
layered points.
I am giving Amit Shah credit for 4D chess. This is Amit Shah running this stuff, right? He's the guy who makes these choices. Decides that we should exclusive whether we should.
People are talking about all this and not other things. No, it's a fact. Like people are talking about these.
That is true. That's without a doubt, right? But it does feel like 4D chess in some sense, right? Because I mean, like, this seems so stupid. We've never done this. I don't remember the last time when people in India were routinely arrested for consumption level narcotics. I can't even remember that.
I mean, they're really struggling. They search 5 houses, 16 offices, the back of the dog's anus, and they come out and I mean, it's so sad. After all that hard work, you should catch what's his name, the narcos guy himself.
Yeah.
Bharti and one cigarette. Come on.
Yeah. Who was ratting these people out also? That's also a question, right?
No, so
basically they called it drug dealer, no? They called
names. They give you a list of names. You're not going to touch the holier names which are really powerful and influential. Lower rank names are getting caught. So, Silverie, which one of you is next? Because the comedy is filled with reefers and ganja.
Hey, no. Hey,
honestly speaking, what are you talking about? Comedy, I would say all of South Delhi, South Bombay, every place, everywhere, like leave South Delhi, South Bombay. Ganja is a thing that Varanasi, every sadhu, everybody is just traveling with or something like that. So how many people are they planning to arrest?
Poor Bharti. I don't think she's going to get any sadhus for company. For whatever happens. They're exempt. It's like the farmer in India. I got another lovely story about.
But I think the narcotics minister only had made some statement today or something that the
narcotics minister. There's no narcotics minister.
It's under a crime.
Some minister.
He's made up a narcotics minister.
No, it's under the home. It's under the home ministry.
It comes under something or the other. It's not.
It's a police subject.
That means we have an epidemic. Narcotics minister means it's a huge problem. Yeah.
Some minister is there who has made a statement that the narcotics bureau needs to, like the central government minister, the bureau needs to stop going for these publicity cases. Basically, these are cases that the bureau is going for just for publicity, and they have to stop doing this. I'm forgetting which exactly ministry it was. Mixing up the name.
It comes under some, as he says, home or something. But the point is, it's just a waste of media space, if you ask me, beyond a point. With real things happening in the world.
What is media space, Cyrus, anymore? That is competing
front page. Let it go to page 3 or whatever. Put it there. Put it with the cinema news.
Newspaper and all is still fine. But TV media is that or Arnab himself.
Husband taken to Taloja jail, where basically like hardened criminals in some sort of hardcore jail where Mr. Arnab Goswami was given a visit, 3 days spa treatment, etc. I mean, just why? Just okay. Let's not waste more time on this, or I'll start doing drugs. Yeah, Silverie, one last question: do you do ganja?
No, never, ever, never.
Okay.
What is ganja?
I don't.
What is ganja?
I think they're two brothers.
Hey, please don't put it on our comedy scene. Right? Our comedy scene is great.
Comedy scene is clean.
Yes, very clean.
Go on.
All right, let's get to this topic.
Plus they don't have enough money.
At least the stuff is. Sorry.
There's not enough money in comedy for drugs. Honestly, you shouldn't do it yet. Wait. Yeah. I'll tell you when the time is right. But before that, let's go into a break.
Are you constantly seeking happiness? Wondering how to make the most of every day? How not to let your inhibitions stop you from achieving your goals? It's now time to get your A game on. It's time to unlock your true potential. Tune in to the Empowering series with me, Zarina Poonawalla, to feel empowered in all genres of life. From behavioral skills to management skills. From health to relationships. From mental well-being to emotional well-being. And of course, your finances. I've got you covered. With these tips and tricks from me, Zarina, and true life stories from my amazing guests, you're bound to bring your purest to the table. Tune in to the Empowering series with Zarina Poonawalla every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
This one comes in from West Bengal, and it says, dead COVID-19 patient came back home a week after family cremates his body. So basically, his family cremated a wrong dead body, and then this guy, who was a COVID patient, comes back home a week later, and he was in the hospital, and apparently they thought he died in the hospital, and they cremated a body, assuming it's him. But
the authorities told them that their uncle had died or whatever. Yeah. They got that so-called body, which was the wrong body, as it turns out, and they did the entire funeral thing and everything. They cried, the will was read out, everything, and then 7 days later he walks in with hands in his pocket, whistling a tune, all good.
Yeah. And the reason they did not realize that it was him in the first place is because the family of a 75-year-old COVID patient, he was 75 years old, took the body of another patient covered in protective layers. So the body was covered, probably mummified kind of thing, and cremated it.
Mask pen over.
Yeah, they never checked. Yeah.
Weird, man.
It's weird.
But the wife should be able to tell the body parts that only they know and things like that. You should be able to look at a covered body.
You don't really see a dead body part and check that out, do you?
Well, after rigor mortis, it's been brought to my attention that a lot of things stand at attention. So, I mean, there are many ways and many clues out there which if you just pick them up, for God's sake, And as a relative, I'm saying, I just know if you know someone well enough, if I
Are you, Cyrus, are you really thinking that a person's body is there because of the rigor mortis, and the wife points out, this has become bigger? Like she would point that out. Like you really think that
the detailing is going with the standard of our podcast of today, which has been about kissing and pedophilia and everything else. So it's not like we're going away from the subject.
Dude, everybody was like, Nani ko kya ho gaya?
Yeah, exactly. But I wonder about the guy who didn't attend the funeral. So when the real guy comes back and then he does a list of kaun the funeral pe, and then he finds out that the two guys who bunked, one cousin from the left, the cousin from the right, who didn't turn up. Lalchan, aja.
Yeah, it's such an embarrassing moment for all the people who did not turn up for the funeral.
What if the wife starts dating again in 3 days? Like she's got this guy and everything else. I mean, anything could have happened.
75 years old woman.
73-year-old woman.
Romance, my love. Romance should always be there in the heart, brother. Yeah. We've killed it.
What? The other guy who was cremated. What about
you want to try that? Go ahead. We need lawyers anyway after this one. Go ahead.
So I was just thinking, so basically this guy, they cremated him like a Hindu cremation, right? Like burnt him, right? Yeah. So I was like, the guy they instead cremated, was he like Hindu or Muslim? Because that can lead to a Pandora's box by itself. Like, galti se galat cremation.
Wrong community, given the other community's rituals, and then he's saying we can have a nice riot on our hands, and West Bengal elections will crumble, and BJP will come to power on this very crux alone.
I mean, if it's the other way around, if a Hindu guy is given a Muslim burial, BJP is like, nikal padi. I love isi ko to point banayenge hum agle election mein. So that would be totally there. I mean,
as I said, today's controversy is child. We don't have to stop ourselves. We just keep going. We've done it all. Now might as well let the community's unrest start.
But seriously, who was the guy who they cremated?
Yeah, so that goes on to say, a week later, while Banerjee's Shraddha ceremony preparations were underway at his house, the hospital called up his family and informed that he is alive and has recovered from COVID-19 and that the body that was given to them was of another patient. Following this, the family members went to the hospital and brought Banerjee back home. It happened, like why the mix-up happened was officials said Banerjee's family was handed over the body of another person called Mohini Mohan Mukherjee, who's 75 years old.
Oh, bachi gayo. It was a Mukherjee for a Banerjee. It wasn't that bad, Mr. Ganguly. It was a Mukherjee for a Banerjee. India will live. West Bengal will live. TMC controls West Bengal. All good.
But doesn't Mukherjee's family want to cremate somebody now? Since they missed out on
Banerjee to go. Banerjee goes.
Banerjee's got to go, bro. Banerjee's got to go now.
You Bengalis have twisted everything.
If I understood the names correctly, I think the body that they finally cremated was a lady, right?
Mohini Mohan. It's probably a guy.
Is that a guy or is that
a man? It's a man.
Really? I thought
Mohini is a female name. How can you have...
Yeah, but Mohan's also there?
Mohini Mohan is one word. We
have one Bengali here. Let's ask him whatever little he knows of Bengali culture.
It's a matriarch society, guys. It's a matriarch society.
Is Mohini Mohan a male or female name?
Male, very male. Because Mohan is at the end, no?
Like Raj Mohan.
But it's not Mohini, like as in like Mohini first name, Mohan middle name.
Yeah. No. Mohini Mohan is one word apparently, and Mukherjee is one word.
Is it possible the parents,
irrespective of anything else, that they would have figured if the gender is
maybe the parents kept it flexible for the child. Mohini Mohan, you do your thing at 18, decide. Mohini Mohan is like, it's like Victoria. You remember?
Very progressive, left liberal.
But yeah, to Abijit's point, that's very crazy.
Homosexual communities of India. Just to put it on the page here, you guys are finished with the Muslim. Now we're doing Hindu-Muslim homosexuals or transgender or something. Oh, excellent. Good stuff, guys. We're on a roll.
What is Mohini Mohan called? They then?
Lady or man died. And died unheralded. She lived as a Mukherjee and died as a Banerjee. And we don't even know he or she. What the hell is this podcast? Respect for the people who've gone. At least that much. Okay, that's it. We can't do it.
What's the other detail that you were giving, Antariksh?
I was saying that to your point, that's so true. Like both the 73-year-old and the 75-year-old had very similar body types that they could be easily confused also to that effect, right?
So they're covered in a white sheet. I think that was the main issue, not so much the body type. Because one of them was fatter than the other.
But died from COVID, so nobody is really like...
cover you completely in the ass. By the way, aren't you cremated, whatever happens if it's COVID? Even if you're Parsi or Muslim?
No, I don't think so. I think you...
Are you mad? Cyrus,
usually, Baba, they had to burn the bodies in order to kill the virus. That's what they were doing. In fact, we got rid of a lot of relatives like that. We just pointed at them and said, go ahead, start the ceremony.
Pointlessly, clearly. But people would revolt like crazy if that is done. People would think it's an attack on a religion.
I just think it's like the ultimate bakra. The guy comes back from the dead. So those who wished him dead, imagine what they'll be going through when he opens the door. Honey, I'm home. Ah! Can you imagine?
But there will be so many people who got the news of the death but won't get the news of the coming back.
Correct.
And उसको बाद में अगर पड़ोसी वड़ोसी देख के क्या बच्चों की क्या वाट लगेगी? Like they will be scared stiff. Talking about rigor mortis, but
Yeah, might as well throw it in. Yeah.
yeah.
We got nowhere to go but down. Okay, Silverie, one more topic on AMAs. Come on.
Yes, cool.
Let's do the White Hat Junior one, no?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that White Hat Junior one. I was gonna talk about the quick Rudy Guiliani one. Did you guys see that?
Let's do that first thing. Rudy's always fun.
Yeah.
So Rudy Guiliani basically something a video
Star
of
of Borat's
has been going
film.
viral. Yeah, a video of Rudy Guiliani has been going viral where from his pocket he takes out his handkerchief. Okay, so from his handkerchief he opens one side, blows his nose, and then through the snot side of the handkerchief, first cleans his hands and then cleans his entire face with that snot-covered side of the handkerchief.
It's still snot.
But it's been going so viral because in the age of Corona, how are you not taking even that?
I had a pal in class, Bala. He used to eat his snot. And sometimes we would make him eat his snot and let us watch because it was like something to do.
How old was Bala when he was doing this, Cyrus?
About 12, 13, 16.
Is he Rudy Guiliani now?
Yes. Yeah, so
No, but it was a fun. It was like a sport.
I'm pretty sure Bala must have stopped by now.
No, I don't think so. I think he's very popular. I think he went to UAE and he does it at parties, cocktail parties. Okay, Bala's come, stop the singer, and then he does his thing. Oh, it's your own snot. It's like eating your own crap. There are lots of people who do that, by the way. They actually eat their own crap.
Eating their own crap?
Pee. Drink their own pee, you guys know about. We've had a few.
Yeah, that ever since Bear Grylls has made it quite popular.
Bear Grylls! There was a prime minister whose name I can't mention.
Yeah. And Akshay Kumar too.
Is it? How do you know that? Or just putting
No. Akshay, sorry. I thought you were talking about a Bear Grylls interview. Oh, Morarji Desai you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
so
that's why he was always so young, no? He was very young, right? 29th
the problem is, if you visited Morarji Desai's house and he offered you something to drink, if it wasn't in a bottle, you would never touch it, no? I'd be like, looking around, he'd be like, come on, whiskey, pure. Of course,
he's giving apple cider to you and you're like...
So you don't drink whiskey from the bottle? No, imagine whiskey from the bottle, ice from the freezer. So glass, we don't drink with glass, whatever happens. It's a very risky thing to do. Oof. But snot. So what's the thing in the end? Because of COVID or just poor hygiene?
No,
what's the verdict?
Definitely poor hygiene, and also COVID adds to it.
So this happened during this press conference last week.
Yeah.
The Donald Trump thing.
This happened
Yeah. So I just looked at Twitter right now and I'm looking at the videos. It's the same press conference. Basically the same one where his hair dye was leaking.
Yeah, correct.
No, that was the hair press conference before that. The hair dye press conference is the one before it. Then after that there was another press conference in which he's smearing snot on him with his facial routine.
And before that,
this is what we're going to call them. What was that before that was?
Before that was the famous 4 seasons total landscape.
So there's the porn star press conference, there is the hair dye press conference, and there's the snot press conference. This
was America's sweetheart, America's hero.
This is Rudy Giuliani's contribution in these days.
No, but I'm saying he was at one time America's hero.
Yeah.
So,
he was at one time.
9/11.
He was the hero of a certain number of people. He was hated by many people.
Amit, that's not fair. The whole New York thing, I think the whole world looked at him as as a good leader.
No, dude.
Yeah.
No. There were people who hated Rudy Giuliani back then.
For 9/11?
Not for 9/11, but yeah, during 9/11. He was the guy who implemented stop and frisk.
Oh, in that sense.
So
I don't like stop and frisk. I hate stop and frisk.
Yeah, so he is not he's not a universally beloved figure. But he was the mayor of New York and he seemed to be somebody who was somewhat competent. And so, like George W. Bush got a 90% approval rating, Rudy Giuliani also got like a 75-80% approval rating. But that rating crashed fast because...
And that was emotive.
It was
an emotive response, perhaps.
It was basically, you did not look like you were shitting the bed while this was going on.
I still don't have a problem with him rubbing his snot on his own face. It's his face. I don't care, honestly.
I don't have a problem with him doing that. I have a problem with him doing what he's been doing besides that.
Talking about his politics in support of Donald Trump
politics in support of Donald
Trump. This has been a very weird podcast where we have tried to say that Joe Biden might have been fine in touching children, but snorting is.
And one more way of looking at it, Mr. Ganguly, is that we have found people with real issues so that we look a little better. Okay, we found a pedophile, we found a person kissing their nephew, we found someone with snot on his face, so that at the end of the day, however low our standards are, we're slightly better than that. So I think we've done our bit for society in this podcast. This has been a very special. I'm privileged to be here. It's a privilege for all of us.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, exposing society's awkward moments. Which no one else wants to talk about. We're willing to talk about it. All right. Cool. Anything else on Rudy?
Nothing else on Rudy. But let's get to a very interesting, juicy story.
Yeah.
This is about there is an online app, an online platform which teaches kids how to code called White Hat Junior, which apparently has recently been bought by Baiju. Baiju is the education online education platform.
Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't that Shah Rukh Khan?
Now what is happening?
Yep, Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah, apparently, he's the...
Because that's how we work. Indian parents want to hear from a Bollywood actor that education is important.
And that they can become, and then they can play for Kolkata Knight Riders if they don't pass.
Yeah. So then, in the past week or so, this IIT alumnus by the name of Pradeep Punia, he's been putting out a series of tweets against White Hat Junior, basically revealing how it is a scam. All the ads that they put forward are false. All the claims that the teachers say that, we are this level of qualification we have, they don't have that. They are teaching kids and they don't know how to teach them themselves. They're teaching
so they are made of a fictional character, which they have not said is fictional, but they take a kid's name. Go ahead, Silverie.
The endorsee is fake.
Correct.
There is no endorsee. They make it up.
Correct.
Some Gupta or something who is making millions and all at the age of 12, and this person is not true.
Yeah, exactly. And this one of the ads.
That's Chandragupta, and that was many years ago. Huh.
No, exactly. What Abijit is saying, basically, that they said that this 12-year-old kid graduated from us, became the CEO of his face recognition app.
Wrong endorsement.
Yeah, and that's not even true. That person does not exist. So when all these things started coming forward because of Pradeep Punia, he put it out on his Instagram, on his LinkedIn, and on his YouTube channel.
But is he a disgruntled employee?
He's not a disgruntled.
No, he's not.
But make no mistake, he has an agenda.
That's what. No, so
he has an
both
agenda.
sides. Huh.
His agenda, what do you think is his agenda?
No, there's a personal reason.
His agenda is that, so basically, he does not like, his agenda is not necessarily a selfish agenda, but he has an agenda. He's not trying to make money out of this, but he is against the idea of Baiju's or
online teaching.
Any online teaching platform. He has an issue with
the myth of online teaching and the figures that they propagate.
Yeah. No, and also,
but that's not agenda. That's more like a social sort of,
Yeah, but it's, but I don't
agenda,
buy.
I would say if he was fired or his father was fired or somebody put money in Baiju's.
It is an agenda though, right? I mean, like his entire, this is built around the idea of how do we...
But then Abhijit's agenda of not kissing children on the mouth, for example, is also the same thing.
That's not a negative agenda. That's a negative agenda. This is not a negative agenda, right? He is proactively doing certain things. Saying that my agenda is to not do bad things is not the same thing as to say that
he's more dynamic than Abhijit. You're just abusing my guest. So he'll never come back. Okay, Oh, sorry. So Silverie coming back. So he's basically trying to expose that the whole thing is fake. It's like fiction.
So he's put out videos of him.
I know. Advertising. It's not real. Who would have ever believed that?
Yeah, it's not a big scam for me yet.
So,
but also there's more. There's more where he has actually somehow, maybe through an employee or within the company, accessed their Slack messages and basically revealed what these guys are trying to do. So every time someone puts out a slightly negative tweet, they just say, report it and let's get this person blocked or removed from this platform. So that's that's slightly problematic because everyone who speaks against you, you can't just start blocking them.
Just following government directive. That's government directive.
No, and it's strategizing your communication, right? That if somebody is talking shit about you, whether you like it or not, right? If you are a responsible company, is it not your responsibility to kind of try and address that stuff?
Not address. Get the account restricted.
But why not?
Amit, you're saying that it's all fair in competitive space.
I think it is.
But
so again, I'm not a big...
There has to be levels of battle, right? Which is a lot.
That is very, ironically, that is very black hat. It is a very...
But to that point, So a random person asked them, okay, hey guys, I'm doing like research on this, and these are the claims being made. Can you at least address them? Can you just at least tell me if they're false? If they're false, they're false. They blocked him also, and they got him also banned from Twitter.
They're not going to do that.
So they are filing a defamation case of.
So why not just like let it be? Why not just don't answer and let it be?
Because dude, why would you?
Slightly gangsterish, but it's not done by other reasons.
Exactly. This is
it's like PR.
I'm sorry, but I think that
PR.
That's exactly what it is, Cyrus. I think people are being overly naive and have this kind of pie in the sky expectation just because these people are in education that they're going to be like these most honest and most ethical and most above board and Caesar's wife and all that kind of stuff. Whereas what you have to understand is education is one of the most cutthroat businesses that exists right now.
It's galloping, so they've got to fight hard.
And they have to fight for everything.
This is exactly what if the system kind of tries to because honestly this is from people around. And this is way before this yesterday or 2 to 3, before he started putting out videos. What we hear from the white hat thing is they are hiring as teachers any BCom people or anybody with no background around coding or any of that technological thing, and who just have a script. They have a script and they have to just teach that. Yeah.
No, they are faking the ambassadors. Okay, that's clear. Okay, they're allowing anybody or whatever and whatever. So that's definitely there. But do they have a disclaimer somewhere down the line? They might even have a disclaimer saying that,
So today was the court hearing, right? As we were talking a couple of hours back. But there's more. Was the defamation? Sorry.
See, again, their defamation suit against this guy is also nonsense. For them to say that, hey, you give me 500 crore rupees ka defamation suit is also bullshit nonsense.
They have even put a trademark suit on him. That how can you take our name White Hat Junior in your thing because you are trying to build
White Hat Senior.
This guy's given a reply is that in your ad you are taking Google Tesla's name. How are you doing that? Is that a trademark? That's a great point. Yeah.
No. So again, I'm not defending the White Hat Junior's case against this guy. That's nonsense. That should never have been there, right? But I also think that today, if you're a company and you're put out into a position where people are going to be talking stuff about you in the public sphere, right? You have the right to decide how you want to respond to that. Right? You should not be doing stuff which is straight up negative. Like, I'm not going to send goons to somebody's house. That's no good, right? That's out of bounds. That's not possible, right? But to say that just because you're a company, you got to just sit and take it, right? And
it's not about sitting and taking, but if somebody is into something unethical.
If they're giving false claims, my child is supposed to get educated on that site.
Right.
The person who's educating is actually the bajiwala and not really this IIT professor who they claim to be. That's you're lying.
But, they are lying. So I don't know how deeply they're lying about that either, right? Because they're talking about who is teaching your kid. They're not telling you some IIT professor or IIT grad is teaching your kid.
So exactly, but that should, don't you think like that should be a part of that? Like if a person is teaching me coding or teaching. Basically, what is this?
So there are no qualifications.
Capitalize on comparative Indian parents.
One second. There's no qualifications online saying that Mr. Sharma is a professor of law or whatever. There's nothing like that.
You have to pass certain tests to be able to teach on the platform. Okay, you have to pass some tests. Now people are able to cheat through.
There's no test
there are tests.
Has to be a standard.
Of the students, you're saying?
No, even for teachers. Of course, for teachers there are tests.
But that's the thing. The teacher, it's basically being run like a call center where you're given a script. You have to stick to the script.
If you're an actor, you're just an actor.
Basically, there are these BComs, and that's what the video he has put up.
That's how online teaching happens.
He's asking question कि cloud क्या होता है, and the teacher is saying cloud वो होता है ना जो बादल होते हैं उसमें data save हो जाता है. Like somebody.
And I'm not saying that. No, that's there. That is.
I like that explanation. It holds water for me. I'm okay with that.
That stuff is there, and I'm not saying that they're 100% there in terms of the number of teachers they have, right?
Okay.
But we're talking about a platform with hundreds of thousands of kids and thousands of teachers.
Amit,
and if some of them got through, right, despite processes that exist. Right, they have to be corrected and they have to be removed.
Listen,
and the teacher, there has to be
You guys have to stop
this into like something evil.
Yeah, okay, let's agree. If Baiju put money on our shows, then we support them. If Baiju put money in our shows, we go after them.
No, so I know a bunch of people in the education space, right? Zishan from Topper is a friend. Ronnie Thruwala does Upgrad. Gaurav Munjal does Unacademy. I know a bunch of people in this education space, right? The Baiju's folks, the White Hat Junior folks, all of these guys are there. Now, it's a boom space. Okay. Now think about the internet in the year 99, 2000, 2001, when it was a boom space in India. All the hucksters in the world came into the space. That did not mean that the space was invalid, no?
So there's a little bit of contention about how much that is some of the teachers creeping in through the system because of those tests and all, and how much of it is actually the requirement to basically, if the company's requirement itself is that we are hiring all these, we're just taking anybody who can read it out and read the script.
But
and
that's not how it is, no?
There's too much money involved. I can't believe that they're just taking anybody. There must be some standard.
There is.
But going to but they are their labor, no? Right?
Okay, I'm bored of this conversation. After all the kissing and all that, this is going nowhere.
There's one more part.
Oh God.
There's one more part, sorry, to this. Sorry.
It better be interesting.
Also what has been happening is, again, this person who made the Twitter thread,
Panya's brother.
He basically got a hold of their in-house Slack channel, basically. And on the Slack channel, these people have been basically the interviewees that they've been getting.
That's the private.
Basically, they've been correct.
I mean, that's like catching you and me talking offline about the government or something.
I know. I mean, like,
very true. But what they're saying in that is basically on their personal Slack, but not personal Slack, like that company Slack. They're saying that, for instance, they posted a photo of a person with Asian features, like Chinese features or Asian features, whatever the terminology is, and they basically made the joke ke Chinese ai ek manchao soup mangwana or something like that. So that is offensive.
Okay, so they had a racist moment, which many Indians have all the time.
It's two employees inside a company talking shit on a Slack.
It's got nothing to do with the company. It's just
I'm sorry, but I mean, like, am I supposed to take responsibility for what every single person who works on
hello, if you have a right to privacy, you just throw out the window and our WhatsApp search is exposed all the time.
That's what I'm
saying. The four of us alone today have said everything which is wrong. If you just go to everything you've sent to anybody.
True.
I said
out of context, somebody reads it. He said this. Yeah. Then he said, of course, the nephew enjoyed it. For example, I'm sorry,
I sent my caretaker in Alibag, are you looking after my cock? Because we've got the rooster. So, if you just take it as a WhatsApp, you'll say, what's going on? 65-year-old man in Alibag and me. So I think let's leave that. But can we go to the AMAs? Silverie?
Let's go to the AMA. Cyrus does not care about this subject.
No, I care about it, but you're going in circles. At the end of the day, you're defending them. Perhaps
I don't actually know, but I don't really want to defend them that heavily either. But I just feel like it's part of
the targeting of the bigger thing just because it's a bigger thing.
I want to know what Mr. Panya's in agenda is in terms of, is there some personal? There's got to be a story. Why did Hitler go mad? Did he fail an exam?
That's one of the things. One of the things that's saving him is because his YouTubes are demonetized and he's not made any money off it. So that's one of the things that yet. So basically, that's why in today's defamation case hearing, because I was following the live law tweets, which is amazing. It's like such a courtroom drama as if you're following it. So he has said, he's not making any profit of it, and that's why he has been, like, the High Court has said that, okay, fine.
Agenda is not only money-driven, beta. Yeah. Agenda is...
No, I'm saying, I get it, but I'm just saying that has saved him till now. Like the fact that he has not monetized those videos and he's not made money off that.
But I slightly tend to agree with Amit. I'm saying that don't hang the educational sites yet, because it's a huge business, and whatever they're doing, it's still a nascent period. Firstly, there'll be more standard practice.
But I find it a little.
There's a whiff of money equals to evil in this whole thing. To me, there's a whiff of that in terms of how it's being
those
approached.
Evil capitalists.
The share ke jane mane.
Your surname is Ganguly, so he's now calling you names. You hate the right.
No, but there's a whiff of that in this whole.
I guess it's a little bit of
all of this shit came.
It's a little bit of bias again. Also, ads itself of a kid being shown कि 11 साल में programmer बन गया देखो.
No, and also if you look at the case on its own, the specifics of the case, whatever it is, the two guys behaving like racist Indian shoot louts, which we have all over the country, they've got nothing to do with this whole issue. But you can just start throwing mud on the company left, right, and center, and before you know it, you mix it all up, and it becomes like the way they took down the gangsters, the Sicilians in America, what was that called? The RICO Commission. You just throw everything you can at them till something sticks. I think it's just stupid.
Yeah, that is pointless. Yeah.
And see, the thing is that none of this stuff came out until White Hat got acquired, right?
Yeah.
Before White Hat got acquired, there was none of this noise was being made. The second they got acquired for a huge amount of money, at that point in time, all of a sudden, all this stuff is starting to come up, right? So the people who were
grab mentality, let's bring them down.
No, so in the series of tweets he mentions, right? He talks about one specific person that guy's been fighting with Byju's for years, right? And that guy brought into it. So it's just like, there's this kind of there's this sense, right, that you know what, these guys are making some money, let's fuck with them, and that pisses me off.
Having said that, it would be nice if Byju's and all the educational sites, if they have a more clear and transparent, accountable sort of sheet saying X is how we treat, this is the process of how we get teachers on, or whatever the other contentious issues.
But you know what, Cyrus?
Be open about it, because it's the internet. How can you not be open now?
It's super simple to change teachers from a course in most of these courses, right? If you're taking a course taught by multiple teachers, to move from one to the other is supposedly simple. I've never done these courses, so I don't know. But from what I've heard, it's super simple to do this stuff.
I just made the mistake. I went against my guru, Larry David. You cannot say and on the other hand. When you say and on the other hand, it just negates everything, because the paradox means you're just one of those people who doesn't really believe in anything. All right, fair enough. Silverie, AMA.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So it's been a great week on the network, as it almost always is. Let me give you a couple of highlights that you should definitely check out. Chiki Sarkar was on This Round's on Me with Gauri Devi Dayal. Great conversation. Think you will really enjoy that. Shlok Ramachandran of our new show Millennial Athlete, who guested on one of our older shows, Football Should Ball. He's a big football fan, in addition to being a professional athlete. So I think it's a really interesting connection. And they had a great conversation about football just generally. Nankari, our new show about Indian food, hosted by Sadaf and Archit, talk about laddus this week and basically, how awesome they are. It's Diwali week, and I think that's an apt conversation for them to have. On the Wire Talks podcast, Siddharth Bhatia has a great conversation with Dylan Mohan Gray about his work on Bad Boy Billionaire, specifically around the Vijay Mallya episode. Definitely check out the conversation if you want to know more about that. And finally, let me recommend the Edges and Sledges Cricket podcast this week. They take a look back at the IPL 2020. They go over the final, Delhi versus Mumbai, and how that played out. And they also create their dream IPL 2020 fantasy team. Do check that out. I think you'll enjoy that as well. And with that, let's get you back to your show.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me.
All right. The first AMA comes from Gaurav K. He says, "Hi Cyrus, Amit, Antariksh, and guest. I have an interesting question that I'd love to hear your answers on. The chimpanzee is the official ambassador and mascot for the Joe Rogan Experience. If Cyrus says were to have a spirit animal mascot, which animal would it be?"
Yeah, but the chimpanzee is scary if you study him. Huh? He's amongst the most ruthless and brutal animals. Brutal. The bonobo, the cousin is okay, but this guy is like, he's a cannibal. They rip the male organ of the rival, They pull out the penis. Hey. Yeah. Can we just kill each other? To leave a guy without his penis to wander back into the tribe? Who does that? How cruel is that? Yeah, Joe Rogan. I'm fascinated with this animal.
There was a story, right? See, I think he did. Was it discussed in the last podcast I was here with this chimpanzee who had been with a family, and suddenly they gave off to a zoo, and then they were trying to feed him and everything, and once the family got stuck there, and they just tore the parents' every body part and like the male guys.
Apparently they have a great sense of justice or injustice, so they remember those things, like fed, like not fed.
They feel wronged.
You feed the other chimpanzee, the jealousy, rage happens very quickly. 99.6% shared DNA with us.
Does that nephew have a brother?
Ooh, where did that come from? Ouch.
Just a sense of justice.
The Abijit Ganguly experience.
There's another brother on his.
Saaf ka tarazu. Yeah. No, so animal.
So who do you think the spirit animal would be?
The wolf. The wolf is my favorite animal in the world. I just love the wolf. The wolf, by the way, mates for life. Stands by the pack till death, feeds the cubs first, and the male can stay in and look after the cubs, and the female hunts as well. And the best hunters in the world, the strategy hunting of the wolves.
Cyrus, you don't give away. I'm just being maybe slightly. It will sound off, but you don't give a very wolf vibe.
But I'm not a wolf. Yeah. I admire the wolf. I know what you're saying. He's like a vegetarian who likes a steak, but you get like that happen.
You have a panda vibe, you have a that should be.
But they are very bad natured as well.
But the looks matter, right? So
I like the bears. I like the Wolverine, the most ferocious animal in the world. I'm a huge animal fan, actually. So I've been looking at Joe Rogan's. He's like me. Reminds me of that the child in him is very much alive. That loves to see animal fights in his head. Who would win? Who discusses that at 49? I found Joe Rogan has paid $100 million to do that. I said, man, this is the guy to follow. Who will win when a mountain gorilla fights an orangutan? Only I want to know. It's just beautiful.
Have you watched any of these videos? Like, the animal versus animal?
No, so there are two types. There are two types. One is when they show fights which sometimes look doctored, and two is when they match the statistics, which they used to do with boxers. There was a show on boxers also. You take a Joe Louis from an era and you make him fight a Mike Tyson, etc.
Right.
Interesting.
Where is there boxers one?
The Parsi Bengali mind, it appeals to boss because it's all about the romance of if this would happen, if that would how we are brought up.
Don't you remember when in between they were having, I think, Americans or something, greatest fighters? So they would suddenly have a gladiator fight against a yakuza.
Yeah. I love that
samurai.
And So how do you do that? How do you take So they take the weapons, and the weapon goes one-on-one against each other. So you take the samurai sword versus, or somebody's spear, say the medieval English warrior spear, knight spear or whatever. And
Spartan versus
supposedly the best fighter.
Mongolian or whatever.
The other great fighter, the Turkish soldiers. Turkish soldiers who came here, the Lodis and all, to set it up out here. They're supposed to be extremely good, ferocious warriors. Anyway, so I like all that. So I go for the wolf. Amit, what's your animal?
I don't know that I have an animal really. I mean, I like birds.
Everybody has a spirit animal. That's why Ganguly was upset. Because he was upset that my spirit animal was a lean, hungry wolf.
I did not visualize you saying wolf, by the way. I really am.
Any student of literature will have lean and hungry with the wolf. I think it's
interesting. I mean, if you ask me what animals I like to see, I like watching eagles and hawks and things like that.
The spirit animal, where you feel a spirit.
No, I don't feel anything like any animals. I like chicken, dude.
He hasn't had that thought and that connect. Okay, fair enough.
I like chicken.
I think octopus. I've been watching octopus.
Octopus is a spirit animal. What is this?
Dude, no. Because I think this podcast
is unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable.
Masters
it kills
of camouflage.
Everything. Kills everything. Kills the great white.
Yeah.
Kills the tiger.
Masters of camouflage. They can change shapes. They can change their behavior.
The shark, catch the shark.
So that's why, I think this podcast is ever evolving, and we can just blend into anything. So octopus.
Don't take it that far. But octopus.
And Amit, you are seriously sticking to chicken?
I have no idea, dude. I don't think about animals that much. I'm not a big fan.
It's not like we have been planning on this answer.
Abijit, in all the segments, he's the straight guy, so we can have fun. We need a straight guy to give it some sort of gravitas. And this is the only section where he's the comedian. We're all into our wolves and octopuses, and this man is now come back with chicken.
But he'll be like butter chicken.
That's coming next. Chicken. Before I finish with it. What about you, Abijit? It's your spirit animal. Be fair.
I'm thinking basically the moment I thought something like the Timon and Pumbaa of Lion King.
Timon is what?
Meerkat.
You're right.
Meerkat. So meerkat is
nice.
Yeah, relatable.
Very very strategic. Fight punch above their weight. Nice. Not bad. Meerkat. Yeah. Now, should I say something about you don't look like meerkat? They're small and reach.
But see, that would have been like if I would have said something like lion or tiger. Then you saying that you don't
seem like a tiger. You think he's too powerful for me, the wolf? No, man. See, they're close to the dog.
I'm not saying powerful for you, but you don't seem a wolf character. I mean,
no, I'm a pack animal. Full out pack animal.
You're happy, vibe, chill.
They're very happy animals. The most social of all animals, Baba. Very social animal. This is all the wrong idea because they are good hunters. But other than that, it's a very good social structure. Very strong, very sophisticated.
All I'm saying is, I did not really see wolf coming from you. I'm sorry if that is sounding wrong.
You're like a racist. You're just looking at a package physically and saying, you're too fat to be a wolf. That's it. And it's sad that but you accept Kangana's kisses, and you accept Joe Biden's hugs, and you accept everything else on the show, including all the conspiracies against the educational channels, but you won't accept me.
What would Kangana's animal be on that
dove? The dove, or is he in Marathi, the dove? Huh?
Which is the animal which is there any animal which does not
kissing? Have you seen doves? They kiss a lot. They attach their beaks.
The lovebirds. Leopards. Lovebirds. They're the actual birds.
But are they kissing their nephews? Yeah,
but the lovebird has to have a partner. She doesn't really have a partner. Yeah. So what he's saying is a little obtuse. Oh, what the hell?
Which she has refuted.
One of God's most beautiful creatures. Is this how you talk about Kangana? All right. Okay, quickly, one last one. How long is this podcast, man? It's like a feature.
Sure.
We've gone over an hour. Yeah.
Quick, short one.
This one comes in from Tanmay Patil. He says, I think I will keep sending you guys messages every few months in the hope that someday it will get featured on the show.
Done my patal. Bus, we have done it.
Yeah, he says, I'm from London, UK. I'm a big fan of police crime shows, and Line of Duty for me is the greatest of them all. Being a big fan of crime shows, has Cyrus seen this show? And which, according to him, is the greatest crime show he has ever seen?
The Thin Blue Line with Rowan Atkinson. That's hilarious, man. But I know what he's talking about. I love actual crime shows. In fact, my mom watches Law and Order, which reruns on TV. And it keeps rerunning. There's some 10,000 seasons and 600 different cast members. So on the television, which now we don't watch, but my mother watches. So when I'm in that room, I settle down and watch it again, even though I vaguely remember the episodes, because I've watched all. I've watched everything. I don't know, Mr. Abijit Ganguly, do you like the crime show genre?
It's nice. It's pretty nice.
Which is a no, right? That's a pretty qualified.
It's horrible. It's how Kunal, my friend Kunal, when he doesn't like the food, this is how Kunal, you like it?
It's nice.
Why do people do that? You don't like it. It doesn't work for you. I mean, that's what
it's not great. I'll watch it if there's nothing else to watch.
You have an opinion on a Bollywood star kissing her relative, or Joe Biden being a pedophile, or bring down Byju's, that huge network. All this you have an opinion. But a simple question like this, and I can't understand. Suddenly, what the hell? Strange paradox of a man.
Sorry, Cyrus. Yeah. Okay, wolf, sir. I have accepted the wolf part now. It's really, you're as wolfy as it gets, yes.
I'm the lone wolf. I'm just the wolf, I hope. God, I'll be the only fat wolf in the pack, Baba. Now they bring it up. And they're supposed to be really good runners.
They'll get rid of you, Cyrus.
They run 70-80 miles a day. They can run at a good pace. That's how they outrun the prey. Basically, kill it with stamina sometimes.
And they also kind of socially isolate the older and the weaker ones, right?
They don't socially isolate, but they have their own law in that sense.
The older ones got to go, the weaker ones got to go, right? Basically, the pack sorts.
Yeah, but that's the law of the jungle where ultimately it happens in the BJP also. It will happen. Finally, the old order changes.
Honestly speaking, it has to work, because if it does not, then it becomes the Congress. And
Congress, I've restructured the Congress. I've decided now Congress has to have Kamra, Shashi Tharoor, that Bajaj gentleman, Rajiv Bajaj, and they need one Bollywood star to come through, and they're done. They're back. Urmila's not there anymore. We need someone who's there in the limelight. So like a Deepika or something who's been burnt by the government and ready to take a stand, and you put them all together and you got the Congress back. What do you guys think of my plan?
I think it's a plan.
Should we go back to the photo?
Anything is better than the present plan, so anything can be an improvement only.
It's a step up. We took anyone. Okay, guys, shall we end it here? You've been beautiful.
Yep.
But it's time for my pack to go hunting. Sala, panda. कौन सा angle से panda लगता है?
I mean, I'm sorry.
You made me Chinese. You made me. Hey, panda's only Chinese, right?
Only Chinese. Owned by all pandas are owned by just Chinese. Chinese government owns every single panda, leases them out in zoos. That's
I'm a spy. I'm a spy.
I remember seeing that on the West Wing.
Mm-hmm.
They lent the zoo.
You learn about animals on the West Wing? Yeah, dude. Fantastic.
Isn't West Wing a Law and Order kind of thing?
Well, no,
West Wing President.
White House.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's a political.
Yeah, no, so the West Wing had an episode about the panda.
They send the panda as a gift.
Yeah, no, so the Washington panda, the one panda dies, and they want another panda, and you have to request China to get a panda because that's the only way that you can get one.
Wow.
So it's a plot point.
India offered to give one of our black bears and just color white in the middle and one sugar cane हाथ में. हाँ, बेटा, जब आप reach.
But I think that was done. That was done in some African zoo. That for zebra, they just painted a horse and they said it was zebra. It was working for 2-3 years. It was like, hey, this zebra is very athletic. So that happened actually.
Wow. All right. I think I'm going to go and just follow Kangana on Twitter now. You guys have a good day and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps. Please, we beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
Have you ever wondered how successful people do their thing? How do they navigate the challenges they often face? Are you wondering about the future of restaurants, film, education, technology, and everything else in between? Hi, I'm Gauri Devidyal, best known for being one of the brains behind The Table, an award-winning restaurant in Bombay. One thing my life as a restaurateur has given me is the opportunity to meet with some truly inspiring people, most often just by chatting with strangers at the community table. And that's what this podcast is about. It's about learning the new dimensions of business and understanding how different people swim this sea. It's an opportunity for me to pick their brains and ask them all the questions on my mind, whether it's about learning from their past experiences or talking about future trends. Through their journeys, stories, and insights, I hope you too, like me, will come away inspired and energized. So come, join me every Wednesday with your favorite drink because this round is on me.
नमस्ते, मैं हूँ सौरभ चंद्रा
और मैं प्रणय कोटस्थाने।
जब महफिल खत्म होते होते दरवाजे के बाहर पुलिया के ऊपर हम दुनिया भर की जटिल समस्याओं को सॉल्व करने में लग जाते हैं तो हो जाती है पुलियाबाजी।
अब आजकल के अपार्टमेंट वालों ने तो कभी पुलिया देखी नहीं होगी, पर आप फीलिंग तो समझ ही सकते हैं।
तो आइए शामिल हो जाइए हमारी पुलियाबाजी में, जहां प्रणय और मैं एक से एक इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक्स की तह तक जाएंगे।
आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, बिटकॉइन, पाकिस्तान, मेडिकल एजुकेशन, करेंसी क्राइसिस, कभी हम दोनों के साथ और अक्सर स्पेशल एक्सपर्ट गेस्ट की कंपनी में।
सुनिए हमें IVM की वेबसाइट, ऐप या अपने फेवरेट पॉडकास्टिंग प्लेटफॉर्म पर हर दूसरे हफ्ते।